we had a good time together. Oh, we had a great time together. So I started this company because I met this amazing man who I never thought would give me the time of day. And you know what? He liked big girls, and I didn't know that. Because you never saw him in pictures with anyone who had looked like me. So, we started dating, and he told me he loved sexy lingerie. I don't know about y'all, but I was a size 28. Where does a woman who's a size 28 go to find lingerie? Just guess. Victoria's Secret didn't make anything in my size, right? Ashley Student Lane Bryant, this is before plus is equal. But plus can never.
Could you use the mic because we're live streaming?
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming in and letting me know. So Victoria's Secret made nothing in my size. And you also know that they told me to actually Stewart and Lane Bryant. But this is before the plus is equal.
Check that it's switched on.
Make sure it's switched on.
Sounds like it's on.
Sound like it's on?
Yeah.
Okay. Now y'all know I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So you're going to hear an accent in everything that I say. Everything that I say. So this is before plus is equal, but let me just make sure you know one thing, plus can never be equal. Plus is always going to be greater. So I can't do the plus is equal with anything. And so, I kept thinking about it, and I'm an attorney by trade. I'm a real estate attorney and a criminal attorney, right? Went to Georgetown, got kicked out in 2002. We're not going to get into that story. That's a different story for a different day. Finished up at Rutgers. And I just kept thinking, you know what? I keep quitting jobs. I've never had a job last longer than 1 year, and I'm 37 years old. So I said, I keep thinking he likes sexy lingerie, but I can't find anything. And remember, this is a red hot relationship we had going on here. Like, big things popping, little things stopping. I was loving it. And so I said, I'm going to start a lingerie company for curvy girls. And of course, what do your friends say? Girl, ain't gonna never happen. Don't know why you buy from big girls. I ain't never seen a big girl on TV who look like you. You have an accent. You're an attorney. Go back to your day job. I was like, I don't have a job. What do? So I went to the New York Public Library at 34th and Madison, the business library, and I met a woman who said she won $50,000 in prize money for her company. Now, a sister like me is going to ask the question, let me hear your pitch. She gave me her pitch, and I was like, oh, really? I said, I know I can do better than that. I've been speaking for 21 years now, and I have a certain style of how I speak. Anyway, I wrote my business plan in 2.5 months, eating ramen noodles every day. Me and ramen noodles got to be very well acquainted with each other. Because if you have no income coming in, you already know what time it is, right? So I'm just gonna keep it all the way real with y'all, because pitch, bang, bang, how do you do it? How do you hit your target market? How do you get there? So I wrote my business plan, entered it into a competition, the Harlem Business Alliance's 3rd annual business plan competition. Never forget it. Didn't go in expecting to win. I was just like, I'm just happy to be here. That old Miss America type stuff. But secretly I was like, I really want this money because rent is too damn high. But y'all remember that, right? Okay, so so I walked in, no PowerPoint presentation. All I came in was with my lingerie, trying to look cute in a Calvin Klein dress. I had no partners. And I kept looking around the room at all of my competitors, and they had partners, and they had this and that, and charts and stuff. And I said, I'm just going to go in, and for 10 minutes, I'm just going to go in. I know everything about this company because I sat with the research for 2.5 months. So I did that. 2 days later, they let me know that I got a 50 out of 50. Now, me not being a math chick, I said, I'm in the top 3. No, I won. And I didn't know. I'm thinking, I'm doing something. I'm about to get a couple of coins. Like, no, you won the grand prize. I was like, it was $5,000, which to anyone today, you ever just had $5,000 land in your lap? Neither had I. There was no more ramen noodles from that day to this one. So over time, I kept winning competitions. I don't care if I went up against a cool tech company. I don't care if I went up against people who look nothing like me. I don't care if you went to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or Columbia. I was going to beat you. How? Because I knew what I was doing. I was like, okay, when you desperate, and you want to say desperate times calls for desperate measures, no one wants to go back to ramen noodles. Nobody wants to go back to ramen noodles unless you in college and you're just like, stores ain't open, so I'm just going to have to make it work. So I won. I was in the perfect pitch competition, September 27, 2012. There was a judge there from Black Enterprise Magazine. And after I won, American Express was in the room. They judged me, Constant Contact, Black Enterprise. And they were like, you really are very, very good. Have you ever thought of going nationwide? And I'm thinking, I'm trying to be cute here in New York. I don't know if I'm ready. And they were like, no, you could really win it all. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm telling you, you're good enough to win it all. So I entered myself into the Black Enterprise elevator pitch competition that was in Columbus, Ohio in 2013. I bought my ticket in advance because I said I've always been a finalist, and usually I'm the winner. So I'm going to buy my ticket in advance. If they tell me I'm not, I'm still going there to rock that stage. I don't know how I'm going to get on that stage, but I'm going to rock that stage. I get there. You got the Magic Johnson, you got Robert Townsend, you got all of these big-time African-American entrepreneurs, people you never even heard of, people in tech spaces, never heard of them. And I knew they had never heard of little old me, but they were judging me in a competition. So MC Lyte judged me, Wayans Brothers judged me, Earl Butch Graves, and there was somebody else who was on the stage. And then they did something different during my competition. They were like, everyone in the world can vote. This is American Idol. Now, y'all know it was on a Thursday night. What's on Thursday night? Scandal. So I was feeling some type of way. I was feeling some type of way about it. So I'm on Facebook, hitting up all the homies, sorors, everybody. Yo, I'm number 3 in the competition. My line number's 33, so I'm about to go ahead and do this. And they wanted me to walk out to I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. Now, I really wanted to walk out to Diva by Beyonce or Bad, but since he's Robert F. Townsend and he told me what I'm gonna walk out to, that's what I'm gonna do. So I met my competitors, and of course they dissing me hard. Oh, you think you're so great because you're in New York. Oh, you're an 11-time champion. I was like this. I got this. I was scared for my life. Honest to God, I was scared because I was like, okay, people who've never seen me before, how are they gonna take me? Had on a white dress, a cream-colored dress with some gold buckles. I thought I was stunting that day. I walk out and I look at the audience and I'm having a conversation with God because I was like, this is my first nationwide competition. My next competition will be in front of Damon John. And that's true. So I'm walking out, I'm having a conversation with God. I say, God, in this moment, there will not be one mistake. I grabbed the microphone because I was doing the whole Beyonce, like, I want to drop the mic when this is over. I want to give it to him fresh and raw. Grabbed the mic, I heard that song by Nas, All I Need Is One Mic. One mic. And then I just went in. Girl, I'm walking the stage. I'm walking the stage like I'm for real Beyonce and Jay-Z. I'm like going in. And before I knew it, 54 seconds later, my pitch was over. It was over, and I really wanted to just, And then I was like, no, I can't really do that. I'm not finished. So we went from 10 people with 1-minute pitches to 5. And the judges kept saying to me, they never asked me a question. This is supposed to be like Shark Tank in American Idol. I never got asked a question. All they kept saying was, you bad. I'm kind of scared of you. I'm thinking, where's the question? Where's the question? I know I make money. This is what I do. No question. So then I go in the back and people start crying because they got eliminated. And I'm thinking, well, now it's time to kick it into overdrive. So I went out there for the last time and I gave a 23-second pitch. Walked off the stage, and I just said, that money's mine. That $10,000 is mine. And I didn't do it for the money. Because after a while, you're not eating ramen noodles anymore. You're selling lingerie. Because big girls love lingerie, and they have men who love that too. And women too. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to be in the press. I wanted to be in Black Enterprise where people would know me like, that's that chick that I didn't think could do it. I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. The only person in my family to have gone to college. I went to Spelman College on a full ride. I went to Georgetown on a full ride. And I went to Rutgers School of Law, Newark on a full ride. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell y'all, when it comes to pitch, bang, bang, you have to have what is your overall goal? I'm gonna get the money. That's nothing. The money was spent just like that. You know what I mean? But what else did I want? Did I want press? Did I want relationships? Did I want investors? And that's how I looked at it. I was like, the money is gonna come regardless. There's some woman sitting there looking at the screen right now like, ooh, it comes in a size 20, 26. Ooh, I'm gonna order that. So I'm cool with that. But I tell you this story when they announced me as the winner. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I got millions of votes. For the first time in my life, I didn't get judged just by 4 judges or just by general audience. I got judged by millions on a scandal night. And Scandal was new that night. Do you understand what I'm saying? Scandal was new that night. And I'm sitting there and I'm crying, and Robert Townsend is in my ear. You knew you were the best when you walked out. You are literally the best in the world. You got other people talking to you, MC Light, like, oh, girl, I have this big check. I mean, huge check. I'm like, okay, where the real check at? But I'll work with this. I'll work with this. And then my last competition was in front of Damon John from Shark Tank. It was another, I won the perfect pitch competition 3 times. And, I wanted to be on Shark Tank, and I went to a Forbes event, and he said he's never going to invest in another retail company. I said, well, I guess that dream was going to be over. But I did wind up getting selected. But overall, I tell you that part of my story because when I was growing up, I grew up with a mother who never liked me. And I grew up with a father who was a drug addict. So you hear that story all the time, but do you ever hear the child who overcomes? I'm living in New York by myself. I don't have family who look after me. I don't even have a man or a woman. It just beats that way sometimes. But the reason why I work so hard and the reason why Pitch, Pitch, Bang, Bang means so much to me is because you can have anything you set your mind to. If you want that investor, you can get them. If you want that person in your company, if you want to work at that particular company, it can literally happen. I literally just came back from living on a beach in Santa Monica, California, a place I've never been in my life, because I pitched myself so well that I was CNN's Entrepreneur of the Month for June 2015. And do you know how that blew up into, a reality show production company out of LA? We would like to talk to you. We have an opportunity for you. And I get caught about reality shows all the time. I just don't throw drinks in people's faces and don't smack people around. I smack you down verbally, but you know. So, I'm flying out to LA, and I'm crying the entire time because I met with a pastor. The pastor said to me, you pitched your way out of the hood. You pitched your way out of Georgetown. You pitched your way out of law school. You pitched yourself out of bad companies that you didn't want to work with. You've done all of that. But when you hit LA, every dream you've ever wanted is literally going to come true. So I get to LAX thinking, everybody's going to be thin. Everybody's going to be tiny. I'm going to be the biggest girl there. And that's so not what happened. I was hit on from the time I got off the plane. I was like, I'm just here to make a movie. And people thought I was somebody big time. And I was like, I'm just here to make a movie. So I'm going to go over 7 tips that I want you guys to really pay attention to. Because when it comes to Pitch, Pitch, Bang, Bang, and ask me any questions. I want y'all to ask me questions. This is interactive. I don't want y'all to sit there like, she is lecturing us forever. I don't want it to be like that. I want y'all to ask me questions. When it comes to Pitch, Pitch, Bang, Bang, you have to know what your target is. Who is your target market? And that's something you really, really have to pay attention to. So, of course, you've looked at your business plan, right? I just knew young girls were going to buy Curvy Girls. I just knew these little young women were going to buy. No, it was women my age who were buying from me. Between the ages of 38 and 54. I'm 37. I had lingerie experience parties. I've had big parties. I've had couples only. I've had a lot of different things. But I learned from my mistakes because when I would have my first parties, I would expect young girls to show up and it'd be women older than me. And you know what? They had coins. And they like champagne. And they like fine chocolate. And they like you to have a decadent experience for them. So when I say, who is your market? So number 1, I want you to be a great storyteller. Great storyteller. I don't care how short of a time you have or how long of a time you have. The number 1 tip is to be a great storyteller. Could be the story of how you got started in business. Could be like if someone asks you, who are you? Can you tell us a little bit about you? I hate that question. But I love preparing people for that question. So you can blow them away. They don't know anything. They only know what they can read about you online. They don't know the real you. This is your time to shine. But do you know when we were growing up, you learn so much from the nursery rhymes, the fairy tales and stuff like that, and morals, values and stuff like that? Be a great storyteller and tell an emotionally compelling story. So not a story that you just tell your girl, yeah, he didn't come home last night. That's not a good story to tell in business. And so usually when I tell the story of Curvy Girls, but I'm being live streamed, and there's a sexy part to my story. There's a very sexy part. Not a raunchy story, nothing like that, but a very sexy story that I only want to tell in a small environment. because I know women will understand. You understand what it's like to grow up always feeling, like I grew up always feeling ugly. I wasn't always a big girl. I used to be very, very thin, like a stick. And now I'm just bigger. And to meet a man who literally told me I was sexy every day, I was like, really? Like, really? And really went about showing me that. So I went literally from this size, after the relationship was over, I went to 327, and then I went to 183 to now 225. I think I'm cool now. But when it comes to being a great storyteller, of course you want to have the introduction, you want to have all of that kind of stuff. You know how to tell a story, but what do you want to tell in the story that's going to connect with your audience? What's going to connect with them? A lot of people know my background just because they've heard of me, but they don't really know what the struggle was really like. So when I say ramen noodles, sometimes it was just water. That's an embarrassing story to say just water. So you say ramen noodles and keep it going. Number 2, know and study your audience, right? So when you come to something like this, you don't know who's going to be in your audience. You don't know if it's just going to be tech people. You don't know if it's going to be schools. But when you're in competition or you're really trying to really talk to someone, I would do as much research on that person as possible, because that could be the difference between $0 and millions. I prepared people. I literally write elevator pitches for companies around the world. I don't care what your language is. I know how to connect. You know what I mean? I know how to do that, but only because I study their audiences. Like, I'm the one in the library doing the research properly to figure out who you need to be talking to and how soon do you need to talk. The good thing is, when you know and study your audience, who in here is an entrepreneur? So do you ever get any business off of Facebook without an ad? Okay, see, I didn't know that it was possible until people started hitting me up on Facebook. Hey, my girl said I need to get in contact with you. I'm looking her up. Like, I ain't never worked with her. I don't know who this person is. The story has resonated so much that you can take a girl from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri, and she can be in New York City. She can be doing all of these amazing things. It resonated to the point where people are like, she ain't never wrote a pitch for me. I may not have the money, but you do, so you need to work with her. And that happens all the time. In fact, last night, I spoke to a city councilman in Columbia, South Carolina. She's like, I need your help, Precious. I need you to write content for me. I need you to write a pitch. Do you really? And I'm like, of course. It's 9 o'clock at night. Money never sleeps, and neither do I. Team no sleep. And I got in here today. I was on my phone earlier. She had deposited that money in my account, and I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. When people are serious about that, and that comes from Facebook. I've never put an ad on Facebook. But the story has gotten out. CNN, the story got out. You know, people are getting to know who you are. So I started putting little things on Facebook, like, you know, if you want to have success like this, and I put down my little successes, check marks and stuff, and people would I said, I'm having a discovery session. People would sign up and then convert them to sales. You know, and I didn't even know that was possible. I just started doing that just to see if it was possible. But I know who's watching me on Facebook. And usually it's women. I have some male clients, but it's usually women of color, who are just kind of astounded that you have an accent, you got a big body, you like to dress the way you want to dress, and that's it. They love it. So know and study your audience is critical to survival. Number 3, be bold and unexpected. I could have came in here with the suit on and done the typical, you know, shuck and jive and, hi, my name is Precious Williams. I don't want to do that. I want to be me. And when I'm saying be bold and unexpected, don't do what you see everybody else do. You want to stand out. You want to be different, right? I want to be different. And when I say be different, I mean I want people to remember me long after the conversation ends. So I'm going to wear something. When I go to court, I wear hot pink suits. How ridiculous is that? I even had a mohawk at one point. A mohawk. In court. They never forgot me. I used to have people like this. Well, not her. Not Precious Williams. Because I was thoroughly prepared, because I knew my audience. I know how that judge is going to be. I know how the jury is going to be. But what I'm saying to you is, me being bold helped bring clients to me. Oh, well, Precious just does it her way. She's like Frank Sinatra. She does it her way, and she seems to be winning. And so, be bold, unexpected. Don't do what everybody else does. Don't apply for everything that everybody else applies for. Go about things in a different way. I remember reading this story about how some rappers would start off and they just be sitting in front of like a DJ's house for hours every day, just hoping, not with any money, but just, I'm gonna be here every day until you give me a shot. I'm gonna be here every day until you give me a shot. When I wanted to go to Spelman College, I graduated valedictorian in my class, 1997. Oh goodness, I'm dating myself. I'm dating myself. So, no, but like I'm 37, but I remember that my guidance counselors kept telling me, listen, you're the smartest of the dumb here. You're a big fish in a small pond. When you get to Spelman, if you get in, because we don't think you're going to get in. You don't come from a rich family. You've never been to boarding school. You've never been outside of Blythesville, Arkansas, and you live in St. Louis, Missouri. You have an accent to them. You're poor. Why would they even take somebody like you? By that time, I had been speaking all over St. Louis and on a first-name basis with the mayor and everything like that. But to them, I still wasn't quite good enough. So when I saw Spelman on television, did not know it was in Atlanta. I think that kind of just passed us by on Oprah, which I was just like, there's 4 black women. I want to be like them when I grow up. I want to be poised. I want to be just like that. Guidance counselor still told me it never happened. So when I applied to Spelman after I figured out it was in Atlanta and I had to call long distance because this was long distance days. This is before the internet. And they sent me everything. I slept with the admissions bulletin in my bed underneath my pillow. I mean, I used to be, I promise you, I used to look at the bulletin. It was cream too, cream and like brown. And I would just picture myself walking across that campus. And I was like, God, there's a reason why you keep putting this on my heart. So I had to write an essay. Instead of getting 1 or 2 teacher recommendations, I sent 7. Instead of getting 1 guidance counselor, I was trying to get them all. Like, listen, because some of y'all probably don't know how to write either, as far as guidance counselors. So I'm like, I need everything. Like, I made myself sound like the greatest untapped treasure, the greatest underground sensation rapper, whatever I wanted to do. And every day I called. Every day I called Spelman. If I lived closer, I would have been in their face every day. I want this so bad. I want it so bad. I started calling like my guidance counselors, and I have an accent, so they know who Precious Williams sounds like. And so when I was finally admitted, my grandparents cried because we never had somebody get into college. So they cried. Of course, they didn't see any money, so they were like, we're going to doubly cry. And I said, don't worry, I got this. Because all I had to do, you ever remember G.I. Joe? Anybody remember G.I. Joe? What was one of the things they used to say? Knowing is half the battle. I know I'm in. I applied for every scholarship under the sun and won 99% of them. And then got a full ride from Spelman. So I was just sitting here like, it's a good life. It's a good life. But I was different and I was bold about it. And I just did something unexpected. I'm going to call you every day, multiple times a day. Did I get in? Can you help me out? Can you tell me? Da-da-da. And even they still talk about the story to this day. I'm 37 years old. My 15th reunion is this year in May. So I'll be in Atlanta twice for my 15th reunion and for speaking at the Small Business Expo. Number 5, passion changes everything. So have you ever been listening to somebody's story and they're boring you to tears? Or they're telling something and you're just like, I got no energy out of this. You're not giving me anything to really work with. When you bring passion, energy, and intensity to something, people love it. People go crazy. People will remember you they'll always remember you. My name is Precious. Very few people ever forget my name. They never forget how I dress. They never forgot the mohawk, even though my hair has grown out since then. But when I tell you, bring your passion to it. Why I started my company? Because I was tired of being the big girl who couldn't find anything sexy. And I polled 240 girls in Brooklyn and in Harlem to ask them, what do they do for lingerie? What do they do? And you know what their answer was? Either I don't wear it or it's not made in my size. And I was like, that's cold. That's cool. I'm going to do something about that, sister. And I created the company. And yes, I was told, you're fat. You're black. You got an accent. Not sure if you went to school or not. I can read about you. Not sure if that's true. And I just didn't believe it. I said, you know what? There's 67% of the women in the United States are considered plus size. You can't tell me there's no money in that. 67%. There are 40 million women size 14 or larger in the United States, just like me, and they all want pretty underwear. If you give them the option, they will buy. If you give them the option. Anybody have any questions so far? I have 2 more to go. No questions? You guys aren't bored, are you? Okay, I didn't think so. Number 6, be authentic. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. So if you want to rock a mohawk, if you want to wear hot pink clothes, if you want to start a company that's a disruptor, I say you do it. I loved listening to you with the lesbians in tech. I was like, genius idea. I'm coming to those. I'm coming to the New York meetup tech. I love different things. I love people who stand out. I love people who own themselves and own their space and are not afraid to just be a little different. Like the Apple Think Different from way back. Oh, I'm dating myself. Let me stop. And number 7, these two are really companion pieces. Embrace your imperfections, right? So whatever you think your flaw is, to someone else it's not really a flaw. Like, I am chubby. I've come to the conclusion that I'm probably going to be chubby for the rest of my life. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that I have an accent. I'm okay that I don't want a dialect coach to make me sound like the anchors on television. I'm quite fine with that. I'm quite fine that I'm a black woman. In fact, I embrace it. And all the things that come along with my hair can do anything it wants to do. I just choose to just let it do its thing. But embrace your imperfections. I got told so many times when I was in competitions with people who looked nothing like me, or people who had made millions of dollars, people who had done all of this, oh, did you go to school? Because like you sound like you grew up with cows and chickens. I was like, are you gonna talk about food? Like, is your startup a food company? Like, is it like a restaurant? No, it's not. And then I would be quiet and let it go. I said, when you see me hit that stage, you're going to know what's going on. Is it almost time?
Almost time for lunch.
Okay, cool. Oh, we all ready for lunch. We ready for lunch. We all ready for lunch. We all ready for lunch. So embrace. How many minutes do I have?
You're a little bit over.
I didn't even think I spoke 30 minutes. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so I like 2 minutes. Okay, so at the end of the day, I know we ready for lunch because I'm ready. I came in ready for lunch. I came in ready for lunch. But at the end of the day, when it comes to reaching your target market, really know who you're going after and have a good reason why. Like, it makes sense that if you're 327 pounds, you will understand what other curvy women must be feeling like. If you've always felt a little different, you will relate to people who are a little different too. And I love difference, and I love change, and I love all those sort of things. So you can do anything you set your mind to. You hear that all the time. But you have to tell a good story. You have to know and study your audience. You have to be bold and unexpected and just really go out of control. Be a disruptor. Go big or go home. That's my motto. Now it's bang bang, like, because I'm just gonna hit you. Oh, is that Wendy Williams? Pow pow. Passion changes everything. Be authentic. Be yourself, and embrace your imperfections. And ladies, that is the end because I know we're all hungry and ready to go to lunch. I do have my business course with me. If you ever have questions about elevator pitching, I didn't even get a chance to do my pitch in front of you. You can reach out. You can reach out to me on my website, which is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And I have some cards here too. You can sign up for my free 3-part video series on pitching. So you'll know what the common mistakes that people make. You'll know what really will set you apart. You know this is a tiny little step that you can change in your pitches that really help you soar. So I enjoyed my time with you ladies, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Now you're not going to do your pitch?
Huh?
You're not going to do the pitch? You did,
I was
you
gonna-
wanted 23 seconds, and you did more in 54 seconds. What can we get out of it?
You'll wait for it. Okay.
If that's all right.
Yes. I'm just trying to think. Do I remember my, because I've written 2,000 pitches in a year. So, ladies, it's Valentine's Day. You finally met the man of your dreams. You know what time it is. It's time to find some sexy lingerie to set the mood off nicely. But you weigh over 200 pounds. What's a big girl in the city supposed to do? Now, if you're anything like me, then you went to Victoria's Secret and you found out that they don't make a bra in your size. So then you went to ask your student, Lane Bryant, you didn't really like the selection. Finally, as a last resort, you went to Macy's, where your choices are black, beige, and white. Again, what's a big girl supposed to do? Well, that's why I created Curvy Girls Lingerie. At Curvy Girls Lingerie, we're the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and plus-size fashionistas. Just last year, we generated over $306,000 in sales from CurvyGirlsLingerie.com and our upscale lingerie house parties. So let me be clear. Curvy Girls loves red hot, sexy, and fresh lingerie. My name is Precious Williams. The name of my company is Curvy Girls Lingerie. Thank you. That's a very old book. That is like I haven't been in competition since 2013 with Damon John. So yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you. You gave all the information.
Thank you.
Is that more?
More.
There is always one.